Biophilic Beauty 2025, Elegant Indoor Gardens for Small Modern Homes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a journey into the world of biophilic beauty, a philosophy of living that is transforming the way we imagine small homes and their intimate gardens in 2025. As we step into this new era, design is no longer just about form and function. It is about connection, emotion, and our deep human bond with nature. Biophilic design is not a passing trend. It is a response to the growing awareness that our built environments must heal us rather than harm us. In an age where urban spaces are crowded, air is often polluted, and digital screens dominate our waking hours, the desire for green sanctuaries inside our homes has never been more urgent. The idea of bringing nature indoors is not new, but in 2025, it has become more elegant, more intentional, and more seamlessly woven into the architectural identity of small modern homes. Picture this, a compact living room where every angle is touched by greenery. Soft tendrils of ivy cascade gently down shelving units. A carefully arranged cluster of potted plants provides not only decoration, but a natural purification system for the air. Sunlight filters in through floor-to-ceiling windows, bathing the space in warmth and revealing subtle textures of stone, wood, and woven fibers. Every element speaks the language of nature, not in isolation, but in harmony. The beauty of biophilic design in small homes lies in its cleverness. Space is always at a premium, yet nature thrives when we give it a thoughtful framework. Designers in 2025 focus on vertical solutions, living walls, suspended planters, and slim indoor trellises that allow homeowners to grow herbs, flowers, and even vegetables within reach. Instead of bulky furniture that closes off a room, sleek modular pieces are combined with natural finishes, blending into their green backdrop rather than competing with it. Equally important is the psychological dimension. Studies continue to confirm that exposure to nature lowers stress, enhances mood, and fosters creativity. For homeowners who spend long hours working remotely or living in dense urban cores, an indoor garden is more than decoration. It is therapy. The quiet rustle of leaves, the subtle fragrance of lavender or mint, the rhythmic care of watering and pruning. These small rituals become anchors in the fast current of daily life. Technology, surprisingly, plays a vital role in amplifying biophilic beauty. Automated watering systems ensure plants thrive even in the busiest households. Smart lighting mimics the natural cycle of the sun, supporting both plant health and human circadian rhythms. Sensors track humidity, air quality, and soil moisture, turning what once was guesswork into a finely tuned relationship between home and nature. Far from replacing our bond with the earth, these technologies safeguard it, creating a balance between innovation and tradition. When we talk about elegance in design, especially in smaller homes, it is not extravagance that matters, but restraint and thoughtfulness. The elegance of 2025's biophilic interiors is expressed through clean lines, minimal ornamentation, and the way natural textures take center stage. Bamboo flooring, recycled stone countertops, and handmade clay pots introduce authenticity. Glass partitions maximize natural light and allow sightlines to extend, making spaces feel larger than they are. A sense of continuity flows between indoor and outdoor areas, as if the garden is not an extension but an integral part of the living space. Current design trends also point toward a fusion of cultures. Japanese principles of wabi-sabi, embracing imperfection and transience, find harmony with Scandinavian hygie's warmth and simplicity. Together, they shape interiors that are both calming and alive, refined yet approachable. A slightly uneven wooden beam or a moss terrarium glowing under soft light becomes a reminder that nature is never perfectly symmetrical, yet it is always beautiful. The future of biophilic design is not only about aesthetics, it is also about sustainability. Homeowners are increasingly conscious of their ecological footprint. Indoor gardens are designed not only to delight the eye, but to contribute to self-sufficiency, whether through small-scale food production or improved air quality. Rainwater harvesting systems, composting stations, and energy-efficient materials become part of the architectural DNA. Even in modest homes, these features allow residents to live responsibly while enjoying the comforts of modern life. Trends in 2025 emphasize personalization as well. No two indoor gardens are identical because each reflects the lifestyle and identity of its owner. For some, the focus might be culinary, with fragrant herbs thriving on a vertical rack beside the kitchen. For others, it might be meditative, with a rock garden, bonsai trees, and a small fountain creating a peaceful retreat. Some may even design interactive spaces for children, teaching them about ecosystems through playful, hands-on contact with soil, seeds, and sprouts. This shift toward nature-infused living also redefines luxury. Where once luxury meant spaciousness and ornament, in 2025 it means intimacy with the natural world. A tiny corner bursting with greenery can evoke a sense of abundance more profound than a grand chandelier ever could. The real wealth lies in air that feels clean, water that flows gently, and light that changes with the day's rhythm. As we look ahead, it becomes clear that biophilic beauty is more than a style. It is an ethic, a movement that will continue to shape not just the look of our homes, but the quality of our lives. In small homes especially, it proves that constraints can breed creativity, and that with care, a limited space can blossom into an environment of elegance, health, and harmony. The indoor gardens of 2025 invite us not just to decorate, but to cultivate, not just to live, but to flourish. They stand as proof that when architecture and nature walk hand in hand, even the smallest homes can become sanctuaries of beauty and balance. In the evolution of design, the second layer of biophilic beauty in 2025 lies in how architecture itself reshapes to embrace greenery as part of its identity. We are not simply placing plants into corners anymore. We are building with nature as a core material. Walls, ceilings, and even staircases transform into living ecosystems. The home ceases to be a static box and instead becomes a breathing organism, alive with patterns that reflect the rhythms of the natural world. Consider the growing role of vertical gardens, no longer treated as afterthoughts but as architectural canvases. These lush walls are engineered with advanced irrigation systems and sustainable substrates, allowing them to thrive with minimal maintenance. For homeowners in small urban dwellings, vertical gardens bring the experience of walking through a park into their living rooms. They purify air, dampen noise, and offer a sensory richness that turns daily living into something restorative. Furniture, too, takes on a dual role in this era. Designers create modular pieces that double as planters, bookshelves that incorporate moss panels, and coffee tables with integrated terrariums beneath glass surfaces. Every object serves both function and symbolism, a reminder that beauty and utility need not be separate. Imagine sitting at a dining table where the centerpiece is not a vase of cut flowers, but a living herb garden you can pluck from as you cook. Lighting trends also reinforce the biophilic narrative. Instead of relying on cold artificial bulbs, homeowners are turning to circadian systems that mimic sunrise and sunset, adjusting hues to enhance well-being. Skylights and strategically positioned mirrors extend daylight deeper into compact interiors, ensuring plants thrive and residents feel more attuned to the passing hours. Soft indirect lighting emphasizes natural textures, wood grains, stone veins, woven fibers, enhancing the tactile experience of the home. Another defining characteristic of 2025 is the rise of adaptive microgardens. These are movable green modules designed for flexibility. In small apartments, residents can roll a hydroponic unit from the balcony into the kitchen or rearrange modular planters to refresh the energy of a space. This mobility reflects the fluid lifestyles of urban dwellers who crave both greenery and adaptability. It allows each home to evolve over time, like a living artwork that responds to changing seasons and moods. The cultural landscape surrounding biophilic beauty has also expanded. No longer confined to elite designers or eco-conscious pioneers, it has entered mainstream aspiration. Social media is filled with homeowners sharing their indoor garden experiments, turning design into a participatory movement. Platforms spotlight creative ideas, from hanging kokedama moss balls to DIY moss walls, encouraging experimentation without demanding massive budgets. This democratization of biophilia shows that elegance is not about expense, but about intention and creativity. Globally, we see the convergence of traditions shaping this trend. In tropical regions, architects draw from vernacular practices of open courtyards and shaded verandas, updating them with modern technologies. In colder climates, designers integrate indoor greenhouses that act as both insulation and sanctuaries during long winters. Across the world, biophilic design takes on diverse forms, yet all share the common principle: honoring nature as both muse and partner. Sustainability becomes more sophisticated here. Materials are sourced not just for durability, but for ecological reciprocity. Mycelium-based composites replace plastics, recycled glass glitters in countertops, and reclaimed wood tells stories of its past life while offering warmth to new interiors. Gardens themselves are curated with biodiversity in mind, blending ornamental plants with pollinator-friendly species. Even in small apartments, bees and butterflies find sanctuary in balcony ecosystems, knitting urban homes back into natural cycles. One of the most inspiring aspects of biophilic design is how it responds to mental health needs. In 2025, anxiety and burnout are recognized as cultural challenges, and architecture offers subtle but profound remedies. Quiet zones filled with greenery, meditation nooks designed with soft moss carpeting, and the gentle trickle of indoor water features provide micro-retreats. These are not luxuries, they are lifelines, restoring balance in overstimulated lives. Technology continues to weave itself into this narrative. Augmented reality tools now allow homeowners to visualize gardens before planting, experimenting with placement, color palettes, and growth patterns. AI-driven systems monitor plant health, recommending adjustments with precision. Yet, the goal is not to distance us from care, but to empower us to become better custodians of our living spaces. The ritual of tending, touching, and observing remains central. It is simply supported, not replaced. Community spaces mirror this transformation. Apartment complexes introduce shared biophilic lounges, where vertical gardens rise beside co-working tables, and shared kitchens are stocked with herbs grown on site. These spaces blur the boundary between private and communal, creating opportunities for neighbours to connect through the act of nurturing nature together. In this sense, biophilia fosters not just personal wellness, but social cohesion. As we imagine the years ahead, it is clear that this is not just a fleeting aesthetic movement. It is a cultural redefinition of what home means in the 21st century. Home is no longer only shelter. It is a sanctuary, a greenhouse, a microcosm of ecosystems that remind us of our responsibility to the earth. It is elegant not because it shines with polish, but because it resonates with authenticity and life. In 2025, small homes prove to be the most fertile grounds for innovation. Limitations of size inspire creativity, and the result is a design language that is refined, sustainable, and deeply human. This is not about adding more, but about harmonizing what already exists. When nature enters the walls of our homes, it teaches us to live with humility, mindfulness, and grace. The story of biophilic beauty in architecture and indoor gardens continues to unfold, showing us that when we listen to nature, our homes can become more than places we inhabit. They become places that nurture us, body and soul. The vision of biophilic beauty reaches its fullest expression when we begin to see the home not as a boundary but as a bridge. In 2025, this bridge connects the intimacy of our private lives with the vast cycles of the natural world. The home becomes both a sanctuary and a stage, a place where the rhythms of growth, light and air remind us daily of our place within a larger ecosystem. Architects are increasingly designing homes with fluid transitions between indoor and outdoor zones. Glass sliding panels open entire walls, allowing gardens to flow seamlessly into living rooms. Balconies evolve into micro-forests, rich with layered plantings, while rooftops transform into productive landscapes that support both leisure and cultivation. The old dichotomy of inside and outside is dissolving, replaced by a continuum where living and growing happen as one. This integration reshapes how we experience daily rituals. Morning coffee is no longer taken in a closed kitchen, but beside a vertical herb garden, where the aroma of basil and thyme rises with the steam. Work-from-home setups are relocated next to sunlit planters, where greenery softens the stress of long hours at a desk. Evening gatherings with friends occur under pergolas draped with climbing vines, illuminated by lanterns that highlight textures of wood and stone. Every act, however ordinary, is framed by the gentle presence of nature. Design trends of 2025 also emphasize multi-sensory experiences. It is not enough to see plants, we must touch, smell, and hear them as well. Tactile materials such as untreated wood and natural fabrics invite touch. Fragrant plantings like jasmine or rosemary fill the air with subtle perfume. Water features and small wind chimes introduce soundscapes that mimic rivers and forests. In these environments, the senses are not overstimulated but harmonized, creating a deep sense of calm. Future-oriented small homes highlight resilience as a form of elegance. Gardens are planted with species chosen not only for beauty but for adaptability to climate change. Drought-resistant succulents, edible microgreens, and regenerative soil systems ensure sustainability in uncertain times. Homeowners cultivate a sense of stewardship, understanding that their indoor oasis is part of a much larger chain of responsibility. Elegance here is measured not by luxury finishes, but by how well the home supports life, human and non-human alike. Cultural narratives around biophilic living are also shifting. In many societies, the return to nature is being reframed as both futuristic and ancestral. On one hand, sleek technologies optimize plant care with precision. On the other, ancient traditions of gardening, meditation, and herbal medicine re-emerge within modern interiors. This fusion of old and new is what makes the 2025 trend unique. It acknowledges wisdom from the past while preparing for challenges of the future. Education and creativity are central to this shift. Parents are designing children's spaces where play and ecology intertwine. Miniature greenhouses where kids can plant seeds, interactive aquaponic systems that demonstrate cycles of life, and story corners nestled beneath leafy canopies. These experiences shape the next generation to see nature not as a backdrop, but as a partner in living well. As we look toward the horizon, it is clear that the future of design will continue to blur boundaries between disciplines. Architecture, horticulture, psychology, and technology converge to craft homes that are holistic ecosystems. The compact house with an elegant indoor garden of 2025 is a prototype for this vision. Small in scale but expansive in meaning. The true luxury of these homes is time. Time to pause, to notice, to breathe. In a world where the pace of life accelerates, the presence of a living wall or a corner of green reminds us to slow down. To water a plant is to acknowledge the rhythm of growth. To open a window and feel fresh air move through the leaves is to remember our dependence on forces greater than ourselves. What lies ahead is an architecture of empathy, designs that care for us as much as we care for them. Homes that adjust lighting to support our circadian rhythms, gardens that provide food and comfort, spaces that remind us of our role as caretakers of the earth. The elegance of the future is quiet, organic, and profoundly human. In this new chapter, biophilic beauty is not just an aesthetic or a trend, it is a philosophy of living. It teaches us that the smallest apartment can hold the grandeur of a forest, that a single pot of herbs can change the rhythm of a household, that every leaf has the power to connect us back to the earth. As we enter 2025 and beyond, these lessons will continue to shape how we build, how we live, and how we dream. The homes of tomorrow will not be monuments of concrete and steel alone. They will be living, breathing sanctuaries where elegance is defined by harmony, where sustainability is inseparable from style, and where every resident, human, plant, or pollinator finds a place to flourish.